They've sent the watchers. And I believe I finally have figured out how we can get them on camera. Right now, potentially, they're in the woods in front of me, behind the camera, at an angle, of course, of which you can't see. So here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going out of my way not to look at them, not to make eye contact, not to even acknowledge them or notice them. Okay, I've learned the hard way that if I intend to take, I'd better be prepared to replace. I'm going through my meadow here and I'm taking 2- and 3-year-old eastern red cedars and moving them down to my tree line along the road to thicken our privacy hedge. You know, they say that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. It's also true that to plant an entire forest, you've got to start with the first tree. We've planted about 1,200 in the last 3 years, and I intend to double that this year alone. What I have here are persimmon trees. These are persimmon saplings about 2 years old. So as I take an eastern red cedar out of the ground, I will be filling its hole in with the persimmon. If I don't, I will get nauseous, I will get lightheaded, and I will be somewhat ill until I do get up here and replace the tree. If I take, I must replace. The sooner I replace, the less I'm ill. If I replace as I take, I don't get sick at all. And the way I figure it is they're watching. That's how they know. So, you know, I've been warned from people, and at first I thought it was a joke, but they say don't start gifting, don't ever give anything in the way of gifts, because if you stop, they won't like it. I've almost become an indentured servant here. So here's my plan though. Here's what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do right now with the mirror is for, well, it's a dog and pony show. It's to appear as if I'm going to be looking into the mirror to see the woods behind the camera right now that you can't see once I'm on the other side of the camera. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to touch the button that reverses the side of the camera, which records. So when I step back behind the camera, you'll see me, you'll see the trees I'm digging, the work I'm doing, what I'm replacing. This is to potentially make him, her, it, or they think I'm looking for them by looking through this. It's just a dummy, it's just a decoy. I'm going to place my mirror, and once I go to the other side of the phone to do my work, I will not be addressing you. Watch closely as I'm over there. Be sure to get my 6. I'm looking in my mirror right now, talking to you from this side of the camera. Again, all part of the ploy to make him, her, it, or they believe this is the side being viewed by the camera. Directly ahead at your 12 o'clock, there's a very large white oak. I would ask you to pay very special attention to the left of that oak, all the way over into those thick green eastern red cedars. Again, while I'm working, as hard as it is, I'm going out of my way entirely not to acknowledge them. I am not looking their way even now as I speak to you, and as I pick up 2 more persimmons, which, by the way, is a fruit-bearing tree. So I'm taking away a plant that provides privacy but no food, and replacing with a plant that will provide nutrients. A very sweet, delicious fruit. one of the things I've learned is that when they send me a message, I need to listen. And obviously, they want to keep that one particular eastern red cedar where it was, because as you just witnessed when you heard the scream coming from the forest, I looked down and the persimmon I had planted there, which you witnessed me plant, was laying flat on the ground. Somehow, its root ball removed. So I don't want to get sick again. So I'm going to replant the eastern red cedar that I took up back where it was, and then I'll take the other two, which I'm assuming they're allowing me to take. Keep watching. I'll flip the phone again. Guys, you guys are seeing this with your own eyes. Well, I'd hope to get 3, because my little blue sled that I pull trees around, sometimes I feel like walking, I'll pull a sled around it. Other times when I don't want to walk, I'll use, motorized means. But I'd hope to get 3, and it looks like they are only going to allow me to take 2. Guys, you've probably heard it said that what happens to you in life is not as important as how you react to what happens to you in life. So a lot of folks have said, oh, salt your property, bring another shaman, perhaps one that might not already be here, and bless your land, so on and so forth. I view what's happening as lessons given to me, lessons that were needed by me and a lot of people of my species, mankind, lessons in patience and expelling greed. I wanted 3 trees. They said, no, take 2. I've fought in the past against what force may or may not be here, and it's led to nausea, lightheadedness, overall general illness, and I don't want it. Right now, I feel completely well. I feel as healthy as I did when I came up here. So I'll take my 2 trees, and I'm 2 trees closer to completing my privacy hedge down there along the road the way I want it to be completed. It's still early in the day. I can come out here again later and bring up some more. I gave them 2 persimmons. They didn't want 3. I'll bring up some, maybe some of the indigenous North American plum trees I have. I have yellow tulip poplar. I have honey locust. I have black cherry. I have a nursery with over 1,000 trees down there. So for now, I'm going to thankfully take what they have allowed me to take. 2 trees. I'm grateful that they've accepted at least 2 of the trees I left behind in exchange. And guys, you saw every single bit of that on camera. No tomfoolery. There was no tomfoolery there. You saw me plant this. You saw me securely plant this. And then you saw it summarily rejected from those to whom it was given. So I'm not offended. Just learning to live with them. Thanks for joining me here for another strange episode of Strange Videos on the PBS. S, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show here on Homesteading Off the Grid. Got to get these red cedars in the ground before their root balls start to dry out.